Good morning everyone and welcome back to the two-headed wolf gaming channel, Last Epoch, and of course our close combat spellcaster here, the Primalist. I started this episode as soon as I ran or finished running the map of getting this unique item. We'll see what we got here in a second. Maybe it's something good, maybe it isn't. But I also wanted to start the episode here because I spent a few minutes trying to create a better loot filter, and I am curious to see it in action, and I'm gonna try to modify things as we're playing along, just trying to figure out. Maybe you are interested in this sort of a lesson, maybe you have some tips as well for me, leave them down in the comments below. Either way, this is what I've done for this build at the moment. First of all, hide all normal magic and rare items. Now this might be just a tiny bit too much, but I haven't found an item here that really spoke to me like it's this huge upgrade and I really have to use it. So in a big way, it doesn't really matter if I hide all these. It means that I'll be running through maps a whole lot quicker and it's going to help us with clarity. Then I said I want to hide all that it's not specific to ourselves, to our primaries. So Mage, Sentinel, Acolyte, and Rogue are out of the scheme. Then I decided to focus first one rule here, which is for weapons. So I made it red. This is going to be weapon for me all the time. I chose a bunch of affixes which I want with my weapons, and those are basically attunement. That is our main stat, so I do want to have that scale up. Spell, anything with a bit of spell would be great. Cast speed, I don't care too much for it because we don't directly cast speed. Melee speed would be slightly better because that helps us cast speed. And spell critical strike chance, I don't really care for at the moment. I'm not really scaling up on that. And on damage time, lightning damage, first of all, that's the main thing. And elemental damage, that's what I put here on rule. As you can see, nothing else. I might change this in the future, but that's all I want for now. And I said for item types that I want him show us one-handed weapons, accessories, and idols, which would have some of these affixes, at least one of these affixes, right? And they will be in red. Then I decided to go for blue for armors. Here I went with a few more affixes, which are mainly focused around attunement, of course, health, resistance and armor, a bit of potion. On the potion side, this one, ward and element cleansing on potion use. This felt very useful because even though I have some resistances on poison, maybe removing ailments later on might help us, or you never know what type of armor you find. Critical strike avoidance also sounds very good to me. Reduce bonus damage from critical strikes, that also sounds really good. So we are going with that as well. And nothing else. I didn't choose anything else from here. Now I might change my mind in the future to get things which give us an extra level on the different gear, but I think I have another rule which might work with it. Either way, on item type I selected armors and I selected accessories as well. If they have these two of these defensive affixes, I want them to show it to us, and we will see it in blue. And then I have in this green color over here, yellowish green color, I went with affixes to show and emphasize, and these are regarding primarily spell damage with Tempest Strikes, one of our attacks, right? We want that. Levels of Tempest Strike, Gathering Storm, and Maelstrom, those are things that we use. And I wanted on the idols, once again, things which might make sense with our build. Chance on 10 or more mana spent to cast lightning at a nearby enemy, that sounds great to me. Chance to chill nearby enemies when you use skills which cost 20 mana. That also sounded like a pretty useful thing. Increase the frequency of expending storm like we have an idol right now. And chance to cast Maelstrom every 5 seconds. That also sounds pretty interesting. Increase cold and lightning damage. Helpful. Spell damage for you and your minions. Definitely helpful. And that's about it. I want to see anything in regards to this. So I am guessing that we are going to be saying this even though it might be on an armor. I'm thinking that this is how it works. Right? Rules position higher in the list overrule those below them. So this should overrule this one, meaning that it's going to show me armor which has this. That is what I'm thinking at the moment. We shall see it in action. We are opening this loot here. War Trail, 5 potion, 125 rating on dodge, 7 movement speed, and 33 ward gain when you dodge. Not the greatest thing in the world. But what can you do? Let's see, what did we get here? It shows us a mage helmet. And I don't know exactly why it's showing us a mage helmet. It's even, so it's giving us this. It's on recolor. If I do this, okay, it does hide it. So we might want to have this at the top so it doesn't show us this. Yeah, for the moment, I think I will leave it at this because I don't want to see things from other classes. Now, I can at any point deactivate with X by pressing and holding X. I can deactivate this and look at it, but I think that is okay. So let's go and run then another map. I saw another couple of idols here, so we're gonna run with it. Here we're getting an arena key. I don't know what that is. We're gonna do it. And we're gonna run some of the quests which we've unlocked up at the top. I don't know exactly what they do. But once again, this is my first run going towards the end game, and it should be interesting. Now let's see. I'm hoping that this is going to be a lot quicker as far as the process goes. As you can see, when it comes to storm stacks, now I am running out of them very quickly, not allowing us to cast a lot of lightning bolts except when we are actually fighting and getting those stacks in melee. So I'm looking for more ways to get storm stacks. In the beginning of the game, whenever we started doing this build, these storm stacks were around quite often. They weren't being expanded fast enough, which also meant that we had more enemies surviving near us. At this point, things have changed a bit. We are expending a lot of those storm stacks. We're doing a lot more damage to nearby enemies, but we're left with no stacks for the enemies which are slightly further away. So, with this extra point, what did we say we're going to be doing? Over on this side, yeah, we can go with more physical lightning and cold damage. So we're gonna maximize that bonus first. Which might not be the most efficient for these basic attacks that we are using, but definitely is going to be more helpful for the Tempest one, which, as you can see, it can go wild with Storm Strikes and all sorts of things. Lightless Arbor Key, those are some keys to some dungeons. And I feel like getting that haste, as soon as we can upgrade our Maelstrom to the next level, and getting that haste is going to help us with our clearing speed. Glacial Noble Gloves of the Turtle. So this is showing us what? Armor, health, freeze rate multiplier, 120. Cold resistance. Okay. Time to continue figuring this out. So why did this show us in this color? We said over on this side that we want gloves for primalists, which show us these things, right? Tempest Arc, yeah, these are primalist specific. Primalist idol with these modifiers right here. Is there anything else here? Oh, we also said, so I also said that on this stuff, I want elemental resistances, increase health and added health. These does not sound anything useful anymore. Okay, I'm gonna remove it. I'm gonna try to rethink it. I was thinking, I believe, if I could have some accessories which would give us resistances and health, then maybe that would be useful. But as you can see with that rule, it's showing us maybe a bit too much. I might have to go and either offer an extra rule to make it item specific, or we might not want to see it at all. Either way, our damage is good. The amount of items that we see on the ground is not important anymore, right? I mean, it's manageable. It's definitely a lot of stuff which we do not need for this specific build. As we are getting further and further into the game, I'm probably going to highlight a few more things. I was looking at the tier levels for the different skills that we have. For example, if we look at we hold Alt down, we can see that 144% increased lightning damage is at tier 6, which is drop only. So we cannot craft a tier 6 lightning damage, which means that for certain elements we might want to have them show to us at level 6 or further. I know there's level 7, and I think that's the cap for it. But there we go. Lucky Nomad Belt of Sparks. +1 to potion slot, 55% lightning resistance. And what else was there? Increased chance to find potions. Potion help converted to ward. Not exactly what we want. It's because of lightning resistances, because of the resistances or the high resistances that we have gotten. They have shown that to us. Over here we have a lot of mana. We're still seeing a few items here and there. Not sure that everything is useful, but you know, when you're going through a map looking at 5-10 items rather than at 30-40, still saves a lot of energy, saves a lot of time as well. And we're gonna keep working at it. That's the important thing with loot filters. Now you can look and import if you're following some person's build, like you can look and you can learn what they're doing with their choices, but I don't think we really need it. What did we gain with this wand? 56% spell damage and 39% chance to shock. We got some base spell damage there, and we also got some increased spell damage. It's low level, it's not really that important. I feel like if I am looking at this, this is of normal quality, and it's not exactly what I wanted, in a sense, right? I could go up like this and just hide that, because this would hide normal magic and rare items that don't have this. I think another thing which we could do here is go for have at least 2 of these affixes. That will provide us with a good view on certain items, because if there are magic items which have 2 of these affixes, those might be good. They might not be, we'll figure it out, but they might be. That is the most unspecific way of putting things out there. But I think you're getting what I meant, right? At this point, we're just trying to figure it out. There's nothing else on the line here for us. We're just working on this loot filter. We're gonna try to make it better. We're gonna run a couple of maps while doing so. We're gonna go for this idol, and then we're gonna go for this quest Echo Unlock, which I don't know what it does, but hopefully it's something good. Undead enemies have 20% increased damage and health. High health enemies take 25% less damage. 22% increased item rarity and 20% increased experience. Great. So far so good. Most of these enemies are very squishy, which make the end of the campaign a very weird point. Maybe you should jump into some of these maps very early on. Maybe you should jump at level 16, maybe a bit later. Another thing which I should be checking out is just to see if I've gotten all the passive skill points from the campaign. Those could be pretty important now. Like, look at this. Just like that, just like nothing, got melted. Stunned, kept in place and melted. Okay, don't know exactly why it's showing me this one. Endurance attunement. Okay. I can understand this one. Elemental resistance, lightning resistance. Maybe I have a few too many on that one as well, on armor. 2 affixes, maybe I should be looking at 3 affixes from the list. You know what? As far as armor goes, let's go with 3. What's the point of seeing something if it doesn't have 2 of the, or 3 of the important affixes? We could say that we could craft it, but... Given that we are not hiding those legendary items or epic or anything above it, I am thinking of the next level of gear. Nice. I just love that clearing. I mean, we're using Maelstrom, like we have this really nice AoE, we have the Tempest Strikes, which do really well in an AoE kind of way with those Tempests. And finally we have Gathering Storms, which helps a lot, especially against single targets. Everything here has come together so well, so nicely. Good, there it is. Map ready, let's get out. Give me good idols. Okay, Lunar Grand Heorot, Idol of the Tempest. 25 mana. Okay, and some cold and lightning damage. You know, it's not bad. The rest of these... Now, they won't be anything which we want, right? We filtered them out. They show us this, but there's nothing there which is specific to what I want. And thus, let's see. We can remove this one with physical resistance at the moment, and we can go with some extra damage here for both cold and lightning damage. The mana is not helping us, but the rest is. So we'll do that. Then we're going back to this cache. Okay, nothing good. Let's go here. Ransacked camp. In this timeline, the Mortal Empire secures a decisive victory over the living outcasts to quell the rebellion. Return to the remains of the outcast camp to find any survivors. Certain incomplete path. I don't know. Let's jump into it. Is this like sort of a campaign continuation? Is this what is like, do you go through different timelines and complete it and then maybe jump into another one? Is there like this extra reason to do certain things? Let's see. I wanted to see. Here we have all the passive rewards, right? In the Ancient. In the Divine we have everything. In the Imperial we have everything. Or is this campaign-wide? I think it is campaign-wide because the idle slot rewards are campaign-wide. Okay, so we have all the passive skill points. We don't need to worry too much about it. We're just gonna go through these enemies and we're gonna take them down. We're starting to take some damage, but everything is good. Lightning storms all around. As far as resistances go, it's necrotic. We are on 33%, so we should be paying attention to ground effects, those necrotic ground effects from these enemies. But other than that, everything should be good. Put down a totem here, get those resistances going. Nice, nice, nice. Another one bites the dust. Let's see, with you, what do we want at this point? I guess we could do Wisdom of the Storm on allies, where these crows will be able to give us that extra spell damage even if they are not hitting an enemy. It's going to be a direct cast. Let's take down this one. Yep. Just right here, and there's a wizard there. Okay, a few more apexes. Good. Okay, I can see some armor shred there on every enemy. Whenever we're fighting someone with a slightly higher health pool, it seems like those armor shreds are actually working from our ravens or crows. I keep wanting to say ravens. It's always ravens in games. I don't know why this time is crow. Lightning resistance, fire resistance, void resistance, less armor, about 51 less armor, and poison resistance, but let's see, where is our void? Our void resistance could be a lot higher here, right? Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad, and I can forge it to get a bit more fire resistance. And we will do this. Even though we're losing on 51 armor, this is going to help us survive against fire a lot more, and against void, which can be pretty important. I like that. I like this upgrade over here. We're gonna use it. That loot filter works in that situation, I guess. I'll put down a totem, make sure that we're getting maximum resistances against this elemental fighter. I'm gonna stun him using our war cry. And there we have it. Another wizard dead. Anything here which would be good? Poison resistance, cold resistance, some health, chance to find more potions, and that's about it. Okay, nothing good, nothing I want. Let's see, what do I want to do with you, right? This is where we were at. I could go with cold, but I don't care about cold that much. Yeah, it pretty much feels like either doing more spell damage, get our crows to consume mana, but do a lot more spell damage. Somehow I don't feel like it's helping us a whole lot more. Right, so maybe let's get 20% chance to cast Aspect of the Crow, and I'm also going to go with Wisdom of the Storm to get that, to get the crow to passively cast it on us every once in a while, right? And do not have it only from hit, because that's going to prepare us a bit more. Defeat the Imperial Reinforcements. Yep, don't worry, we can do that. And look at that. We don't even need to sit still too much because it just happens. Bones of the Outcast. Well, they'll be out. There we go. So this is a quest. A short quest, nothing special. But did we gain anything from it? Doesn't seem like it's too much of a story, right? Anything good from here? Nothing good from there. Okay, and now I have another quest echo here. Let's go in the streets. Then we might need to run another map, unlock it, and maybe we fight the boss at the end of it. I think that would be the nice thing. Go to where the outcasts are fighting. Let's go there. I have a question for you. Have you been playing Path of Exile? If you are a fan of ARPGs, right? You've been playing last Epoch. This week, on Friday, new League of Path of Exile came out. Have you jumped into Path of Exile? Have you let last Epoch aside for now? Or are you playing both of them? Or have you done what? So far, the League doesn't seem too good for me. I mean, I understand the point of it. I managed to create something good early on, an item good early on, but it does seem like it's a huge amount of luck, and you have to spend a lot of time just trying to put those affixes, like to craft those special boosts with the Necropolis technique. And somehow there's something not enjoyable there. And when I gather enough corpses and go to craft, it seems like it takes a very long time to read through that entire list and figure out what you have to place and where. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm super happy with the league mechanic. And I wonder if where do you stand with it? But on the other side, just because I don't really enjoy the league mechanic, at least not in a way where I would want to make a character which is focused around the league mechanic, I want to do some dumb ideas. It took me a while, but I managed to find the commander. It was just up north to the map, but somehow I missed it, so I edited that out. Let's continue with our quest over here, the Altar of Flesh. Their bodies are going to be used to create an abomination to further research into immortality. Okay. And as I was saying before I edited out, I'm getting close to 3,500 hours in Path of Exile. Well, let's summon this as well. Okay. Abomination, invulnerable until soul vessels are destroyed. Okay. Let's run away. Let's try to put another totem down, distract them. These are the soul vessels. Gonna do a bit of damage quickly here and avoid those. I don't think our necrotic resistances are really up to par, but at least we can stun the beast. Oof. And we shouldn't stay in its shade. Okay, avoid that, avoid that. Okay, run away here, run away here. Let's see. When is it doing the shade thing? Because that seems annoying. Okay, that's another one down. We'll put another totem. Okay. Maybe it's after we destroy one of these two soul vessels that they're throwing in the shade on the ground or something. I'm gonna try to move around a bit more, even though we're not taking down the soul vessels. Okay. As oh, okay, so when they break, they leave those shades behind. Or that fog behind. Got it. Okay, so I go like this, and then I run towards the middle. Yes, because that breaks. And then we're gonna be forced to fight in the arena. Like in the middle portion. Yeah. Okay, there we go, there we go. We're good, we're good. I'll do a stun here, and then I'm gonna try to do a bunch of melee attacks. With enough mana here, I'm gonna do a bunch of tempests. Okay, so far so good, so far so good, we're good. I need those healing potions before anything else. I need my ravens with me. My crows, I think I'm gonna start calling them ravens, because why the hell not? While this epic battle goes on, and I'm trying to be careful, let's try to distract myself by talking about Path of Exile. So, if I haven't played all the Ascendancies, and I have done it, and it has been really enjoyable to try all of the classes and all of the masteries out here in last Epoch, what I want to do is actually I want to try out all of the Ascendancies, and I want to do some dumb builds as well. For example, if we think about the Witch, which starts with the Fireball skill, you start with that on the beach. If I'm not mistaken, that was the skill that she starts with. There we go. Get it. What did we get? Woven Flesh. Body armor, unique gladiator armor, 2% increased health, 2.8% of overkill damage leached as health, 22% increased damage leached as health, 29% increased leech rate, and 100% critical strike avoidance. I know who this armor is for, right? We've built that witch with the life leech, and we're gonna make that, or the acolyte. It's not a witch, it's an acolyte. Okay, reflect on the past. I don't know what I've chosen there, but there we go. Blessing, increase unique drop rate, could be nice. Increase huge idol drop rate. Increase large idle drop rate. I want more uniques. Sure, let's do that. And I want to take that fireball spell from the witch and I want to push it towards the end game. You know, go for multiple projectiles, maybe go for some burn over damage over time. Is that a good idea? Probably not. Is going to be a dumb idea? Yes, but I feel like there's a lot of fun in experimenting with the different skills which in time have become pretty much useless in Path of Exile. I think we can have a lot of fun and try to create something which, even though it's not necessarily the most efficient thing that you can do in that game, could still be pretty nice. What are the differences here? So this is the Black Sun, so this is like another path which we start from scratch, it's another monolith. But we can continue this monolith as well, right? If that is the Black Sun, this is the Fall of the Outcast. I guess there's like this timeline and you are playing through these stories constantly and going through the same sort of quests, right? Yes. And you're trying to push as far as possible here before trying to get another one of these monoliths from scratch. I guess that is the case. Either way, I'm gonna put a cut in this episode. I'm gonna farm for a while. We're gonna return in the next episode when I have a few more levels and something else to show. And I'm also going to start a series on Path of Exile. If you have any thoughts, any ideas, anything you'd like to see, if you have any questions, let me know. Till next time, thank you very much for watching, and I wish you all to have a wonderful day.